Before I start today's video talking about the cursed child Yuta Okkotsu, I would like to let you guys know that I am not the official source for JJK and I am merely a fan stating my opinion on a character that I like. Yuta is one of 4 special grade Jujutsu sorcerers. He is also a second year at Jujutsu Tech. Yuta was the main character in JJK Zero, the prequel to the original story. Our first appearance of Yuta is him getting bullied and Rika comes and saves the day by stuffing his bullies in a locker. Literally stuffing them in a locker. Yuta is a very timid and lonely boy, but when Yuta makes friends and cares for people deeply, he values their lives more than his. And because of this allowed him to go toe-to-toe with special grade Geto Suguru and eventually besting him. What makes Yuta different from other special grades in Jujutsu Kaisen is his curse technique, copy, which is funneled through Rika, meaning he's only allowed to copy techniques if Rika is fully manifested. And he can only sustain this connection to Rika for 5 minutes. But it's not like Yuta is a Rika merchant, as he has double the curse energy of Gojo Satoru. This allows Yuta to take his weak and frail body and go toe-to-toe with demon god Yuji. And this is the Yuji who just went toe-to-toe with Mahito at the end of Shibuya. Yuta's weapon of choice is his katana, and he is no slouch with other different weapons as well. As in JJK Zero, he trained with Maki, and as we see in Sendai, Rika carries a bunch of cursed tools for him just in case. Yuta is also good at hand-to-hand combat, as he prefers to take battles closer, and he probably has top 3 battle intelligence, as we see him cheat the binding vow with the higher-ups, and also defeating Ryu with his own attack. I don't know if this is a cursed energy trait or not, but Yuta's cursed energy comes off as creepy. Yuta's first real fight is in Sendai, as I'm not counting Yuta versus Yuji, only because of the simple fact that Yuta here is not trying, and is only attacking Yuji to fulfill a binding vow. In Sendai, Yuta fought 3 sorcerers and a cursed spirit. This cursed spirit was special grade level cursed spirit Kurorushi. And I'm not gonna keep saying Kurorushi because my accent sounds weird saying it, so I'm gonna just call him the rope. Hold on, as I'm rereading this to make the video, I just now noticed that Yuta literally sent out a wave of cursed energy. And in Sendai, this is where we get the iconic I will kill Kenjaku. I alone will get those 400 points. And the characterization of Yuta here is so important, especially because of what we find out in chapter 261, is that Yuta will always put the team on his back no matter what, and will get things done by any means. But I will touch on that more later in the video. To add on to Yuta's battle intelligence, he accurately predicts what Uro's curse technique is by seeing her use it twice, and concludes in a split second that Ryu is the tougher opponent out of the 2. Ryu is very tough and has high durability feats, and Yuta being slightly under that is a good feat for Yuta as well, as Yuta has the AP to damage Ryu and to deflect granite blasts with his bare hands. Yuta also has reverse curse technique and a domain expansion. Yuta's RCT is different, as he is one of 3 people shown to outsource reverse curse technique to other people, putting him in the league with Sukuna, the strongest of all time, and Shoko, who is the doctor. Yuta's domain expansion is top 4 in the verse, having 7 abilities. He's able to pick 1 for his sure hit and can cycle through any curse technique by picking up a katana. Also, Yuta has high level of Jujutsu, so much so that he can pick and choose who to target inside of his domain. And other than Yuta, we've only seen Dagon do this. And since Rika is tied to him and is fully autonomous, every fight involving Yuta is essentially a 2-on-1. Then with Rika being one of the strongest cursed spirits, you're fighting a losing battle, especially inside of a domain, where if he chooses to nullify your curse technique as the sure hit, you essentially have no way of fighting back. And with Rika by his side, this allowed him to be second to only Satoru Gojo. And depending on what translation you have, this is either in unusual abilities or just overall strength in general. Earlier I talked about some characterization for Yuta back in chapter 174, but it makes a lot of sense now after reading chapter 261, seeing that Yuta is willing to risk his humanity and throw away everything just to defeat Sukuna. And this is not just for selfish reasons like people of the Heian era do. Sukuna believes that throwing it all away for yourself is what constitutes to greater strength, but Yuta throwing it all away for the protection of others might just open a new can of worms on what Gojo said in chapter 0 about love being the most twisted curse of them all. With Gojo trusting Yuta the most and being the leader of the heavy hitters, we should have seen that this leadership was always on display, as early as Shibuya and as early as chapter 0. Yuta is personally in my top 10 of characters that I like, and seeing him blossom from a weak and timid boy to someone who could lead the new age of Jujutsu sorcerers is kind of fitting for his character. And here I can understand why Gojo dying had no regrets. Not only because he got to fight to the death and to be killed by someone stronger than him, he knew that he fostered a new generation of strong allies who would never be lonely again, like he was. And Yuta, understanding that loneliness, became a monster when nobody else wanted to, all for the sake of his friends, and all because the love of his teacher. If you made it this far into the video, hit the subscribe button. Also hit like and leave a comment down below on who I should do next. It's been your boy Otaku Talks, and I am out.